Hi, lovely friends. In our English video lesson today, we're going to learn some vocabulary with Jordan Peterson, who's talking about Donald Trump. Let's do this.
Part of that is a consequence of the fact that the radical leftists have given it compassion and empathy a bad name. And so because Trump is standing against, especially the radicals, he's being put in a position where he more or less de facto has to stand against that kind of smothering, quasi-maternal, devouring sympathy that's part and parcel of being allied with the victims.
Okay, right there, that's a good sentence that we could talk about. I've typed it up for you, and I'm going to explain what some of these more difficult words mean. So he said he more or less has to de facto stand against that kind of smothering. So let's talk about the word de facto, which means existing in fact, but perhaps not in a legal way or in a legally accepted way. For instance, a de facto relationship is one where two people are in a relationship, but perhaps they haven't been registered as an official couple, and that is pronounced de facto. He more or less has to de facto stand against that kind of smothering. When you smother someone, you give them too much love, too much attention in a harmful way, in an annoying way. The gerund form is smothering with the ing. Okay, next word is quasi-maternal, similar to what mothers do. Quasi, pay attention to the pronunciation there. It means resembling or like what mothers do, but not completely. Okay. Next one is devour. Devour is to eat something up, to gobble it up in a greedy way. If you're very hungry, you will gobble up your food. You will devour it. Next word is actually a phrase which is part and parcel of, an integral part of, an essential part of, an essential component of, in this case, being allied with the victims, being on the side of the victim. So what is Jordan Peterson saying in simple language? He's essentially saying that Trump is now in a position that he has to stand up against the radical left who pretend to care a lot about victims, but their love, affection, and empathy is way out of control. It is too much. It is harmful and counterproductive. Let's go back to the interview.
And so part of that's an ideological problem. I would also say that I believe that there has been no political figure, certainly in my living memory, with the possible exception of Richard Nixon, who's been vilified more thoroughly and also more falsely than Trump.
Okay, so the word vilify is to speak or write about something or someone in an abusive way. So essentially, what Jordan Peterson is saying is that other people have talked and written about Trump in an abusive way, in an unfair manner.
And I would point to the idiot conclusion of Russian collusion, especially with regards to the Hunter Biden laptop.
Collusion is when a group of people work secretly against someone or against a group of other people. This is collusion. The verb is collude, and it goes with the preposition with, to collude with someone.
As evidence in that regard. Trump has no shortage of flaws, let's say, a statement that can be said of all of us.
No shortage of flaws. He has many negatives, deficiencies, bad character traits, like all of us, he says.
But apart from vicious criticism with regard to those faults, there has been an absolute surfeit of devastating criticism and persecution.
Another good word is vicious, which means bitter, mean-spirited. Anyways, more example sentences in the description for you. My hope is you've learned one or two words with my video lesson.